Good evening, everyone. My name is Lisa Parker. I'm the director of the Reality of Education and currently co-president of the Suffield Players Board of Directors. On behalf of the cast and crew and board, I'm so excited to welcome you to our live performance of The Reality of Education by Joe Starzyk. Joe has been such a good friend to the players for many, many years, and we are genuinely grateful for his generosity and his unique sense of humor. Please join us immediately following the performance for a talk back with the cast, crew, and me, your director. And as a special treat, in keeping with tonight's education theme, Nancy Zimbalist will be joining us in the post-show talkback session to share her reality of education. Nancy is a professional educator in the Massachusetts school system. Now, to watch the post-show talkback, just stay tuned in after the performance. To participate, in other words, to be able to submit a question, you need to log into a YouTube account, enable your chat function, send us your question, and we'll read your submitted question to the panelists. Another opportunity to get involved is to sign up for our beginner playwriting workshop. This series is called Writing for the Theater and will begin on January 13th. And who knows, maybe your play will be one of our future favorites. Sign up on or before January 8th by going to the very first page of our website, suffieldplayers.org, and scroll down. I'm also thrilled to tell you about our Gala February fundraising event, Give Your Heart to Mapleton Hall. This will be held virtually on February 27th. This stellar evening will feature songs and skits and dance and poetry and lots of fun events. So if you're interested in being involved as a performer, keep your eyes open for audition notices. Finally, a heartfelt and very, very sincere thank you to all of our sponsors tonight and to all of you who have generously supported the Suffield Players in the past. As we begin new plans for the future, your support is absolutely critical. And there's still time to make a tax-deductible donation today by visiting our website, suffieldplayers.org, and clicking on the tab that says Support Us. And now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Metrics project 30% increase in attendance. That's not bad. Good afternoon.
Superintendent Watson.
Please call me Denise.
Thank you, Denise. I'm Rayona Friel, executive producer for reality programming at LifeView Television.
And I am Tegan Hurst, creative director at LifeView.
Of the Hearst family?
The Hearst, I know, this is Shakespeare speak.
Shakespeare what? No, William Randolph Hearst. Patty Hearst? Hearst Publishing?
Thy art confused.
What?
This is great, spirited, intellectual conversation. This is what we are missing in cable TV. Too many artists, not enough intellectuals. I mean, the way you memorize all these facts, Shakespeare, William Rudolph, Peppermint Patty, Horace Publishing. I'm in awe.
I'm not sure you heard me correctly.
I mean, you brainiacs are the real 1%. And it is that kind of knowledge that we want to help you bring to your audience.
Students.
See things like that, the technical terms. It's inspiring.
I have goosebumps.
And we want to give goosebumps to your audience.
Students.
Right, right. We feel we can not only revolutionize education, but cut your costs as well.
Your proposal mentioned that, and honestly, anything that can help us reduce costs and increase student participation is priority one.
I knew you were a visionary the moment I met you.
Just like George Washington.
See, you're educating people already.
I'm not sure he was
Let's get
serious.
down to the proposal and see how we can get your ratings up.
When you say ratings, do you mean
Now, what
graduate?
is the main problem you are facing these days?
They are manifold. Dwindling budgets, keeping students engaged, lack of STEM teachers, finding new ways to ready our students for a technological world, and I could go on.
I'm sure you could. But what I hear you saying is that school is basically dull and everyone loves television.
That isn't what I was
And
saying.
because everyone loves television, I believe we can harness its power to transform the educational system in this country.
I'm listening.
Tegan will detail some of our really, really exciting ideas.
Thank you, Rayona. Imagine, if you will, a world in which we can look at the activities and actions of important figures in our past.
I can. We call it history class.
Yes, we do. Now, imagine if this history was from anywhere, any time.
Kind of what history is.
Well, certainly, but imagine if it was interactive. By that, I mean, what if it came alive?
Maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
Denise, please give us 1 more minute. Tegan, present the Henry VIII idea.
Oh, yeah. So, our researchers tell us that there was this guy called Henry VIII. Apparently, he was like a king or something. I believe he was British.
Rumor has it.
So, anyway, we discovered that he had a lot of wives, and he is alleged to have had them killed.
It was in all the tabloids.
We figure we dress somebody up as Henry, make the whole thing a period piece.
People are crazy about British period pieces. This could be our Downton Abbey.
So imagine it. An English castle, 8 different women.
You do know he only had 6 wives.
Are you sure? Our researchers were pretty sure he had 8. I believe that there was a song about it. Second verse, same as the first. I'm Henry VIII, I am. Henry VIII, I am. I'm
Look,
gonna
this
marry
really
the
isn't
next
at all what I thought.
We can make that change with the click of a keyboard.
Maybe we can still have 8, but some get eliminated before the fantasy chamber.
The what?
So we get this whole idea of the Elizabethan dating routine.
It wasn't Elizabethan times.
Told ya, she's a brainiac. But I doubt many people would pick up on that.
Once he's ready, he invites a woman to the fantasy chamber. And then in the next episode, after he tires of them,
Or they get too clingy.
instead of handing over a rose, he chops off their head.
Wait, what?
That really happened. We looked it up on Wikipedia.
Are you talking about using CGI? I mean, how do you plan to chop off someone's head?
Now we're still working out the details. Kids these days are pretty sophisticated. They see right through special effects. So we're running everything by legal.
Running everything by legal?
Whether or not we can actually chop off someone's head.
What?
Believe me, we will have ironclad releases.
And what we are thinking of is maybe when he drops the, he can say, "You've been shot." It's sort of a combo of The Bachelor and the Food Network. People love the Food Network.
No, you can't cut someone everyone's head off.
Oh, no problem. We have other ideas. Tegan, tell her about the Indians. That is Native Americans.
Oh, yes. You are going to love this. You know how when the pilgrims came over, they found the natives on their land?
This is unbelievable.
I know. Those outfits in a New England winter, seriously.
This is a disaster.
That is exactly what the pilgrims thought, I'm sure. But then they taught the natives how to grow corn and how to build houses and how to dress and how to worship. We think of it as sort of a cultural Project Runway meets what not to wear.
This meeting is over.
We believe this proposal can save you $10 million a year.
I don't care what you can say. Did you say 10 million?
Conservatively.
Could you explain that more thoroughly?
We looked at your budget and we noticed that your budget for last year was 87 million.
And maybe about 3 million more this year.
Then that would be 13 million in savings.
Really? How?
Well, very simply, I guarantee we bring these programs in for 75 to 77 million, and that is being generous.
I'm a little confused.
Well, you have an $87 million budget. And if you add 3 to
90.
that would be
Mhm.
90. And then if you take away the 77,
13
then that
million.
leaves
But where are you including the salaries?
No, all the actors' salaries are included in that figure.
Not the actors. I mean the teachers, support staff, administrators, and the books and the computers, the energy costs, etc.
you won't need books.
No books.
No. Who needs books when you've got television?
But what would the teachers use?
No teachers.
No teachers.
No more teachers, no more books, no more teachers.
Okay, that's enough. I know how the rhyme ends.
Because I was stuck.
Oh, this is ridiculous. I thought you were going to make a serious proposal.
We are serious, and you are going to be our pilot program. You can have a staff, and heck, you could pay yourself $1 million and still save about 15% on your budget.
I'm sorry you two wasted your time, but there is no way we are going to be a pilot program for this.
I see. Well, the offer is good until midnight tomorrow. After that, we will move on to another school district.
I appreciate that, but the answer is no.
I could tell you about our take on 12 Years a Slave.
Oh my God, no. This meeting is over. That was unbelievable and so inappropriate. Cultural Project Runway meets what not to wear? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. No more teachers, no more books. That was just crazy. I don't care how much they think we could save. You could pay yourself $1 million and still save 15%. $1 million. Like that would sway me. That's nuts. 15%. $1 million. Although the teachers union is kind of a pain in the ass. And printing all those books, not very environmentally friendly. Hello, Rayona. This is Denise Watson.
We're in the morning, we're in the morning. We've got a lot of what it takes to get along. We're in the morning, the skies are sunny. Oh man, depression, you are through, you done us wrong.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Hi, this is Lisa Parker, your director. I really want to, I'm applauding. I'm sure everyone out there in TV land is applauding too. I just want to explain that you'll notice I am not live video. I'm a still photo because technology is not my friend, and this is the best we could do tonight. So I'm really here. I really, really am. First, I want to begin by thanking our spectacular cast, Barbara Gallo as Denise Watson, Trish Urso as Rayona Friel, and Paul Tafoya as Tegan Hurst, not of the Hurst family. So thank you to our cast. And I also want to thank our behind the scenes folks. First of all, you are seeing the handsome bearded face of Jason Frigeau, our tech director and stage manager. Not visible in this shot is Risa Frigeau, who is our producer. And also not visible on the screen is Jerry Zaleski, our lighting guru, who many of you are familiar with. So I want to thank all of you for coming to our show and also for staying for our talk back session. Now, not only will you be able to submit a question to me or to Jason or to anybody in the cast, but you'll also be able to submit a question for our special guest, Nancy Zimbalist. Yay! Hi, Nancy. Let me tell everybody about who you are. Nancy is a veteran art teacher in one of Massachusetts's large urban districts. She recently transferred to the high school level after 18 years of working with elementary. Quite a year to be making that change, Nancy. We're interested in hearing about that. Because of COVID, she's been teaching remotely, and she'll tell us that she hasn't even had a chance to meet her students yet in this school year, face to face. She's also wondering how all of her students can look like a flat black box. Like, what's up with that? So Nancy is a certified K through 12 instructor, and she's finishing her ESL, English as a Second Language certificate. She has a certificate in creative leadership from the Perron Sizer Institute. She's a former National Endowment of the Humanities scholar. She has a master's in art education from Bridgewater State University and a post-AB as well as a BFA from Washington University in St. Louis. Doesn't that make you all wonder why she's slumming here with us? So, with us. Wow, okay. So we're so happy, Nancy, for you to join us and give us your take on your reality of education. I'm going to ask the first question, and then I'm going to turn it over to our producer to continue asking questions as they come in. So the obvious question we have for anybody in education right now is, what has your day-to-day been like teaching virtually?
Are you on mute? Are you there?
Me?
Are you there? Did you go to the
You got us all.
bathroom? Does anybody know where they are?
We're here.
That's a lot. We say that a lot.
That was funny. You got me there, Nancy.
I know that might have been the best piece of acting tonight.
The cast is jealous. You fooled me. Yeah, no, so you experience a lot of what we've experienced. Are you there? Can you see all of that? Yes?
Oh, no, oh yeah. And a lot of what you're experiencing as well. I think I had at least 3 students today whose internet went out in the middle of class. They bounced in and out. Like, you'd see them all of a sudden go out, and then they'd bring back in, and they'd go out, and they'd bring back in, and they'd go out, and they're frustrated, and they're trying
Yes, we get it. Boy, do we get it, huh, Jason?
Oh, yes.
Rissa, have any questions come in through our Facebook feed for Nancy or for the cast or me?
Any questions, Risa?
If not, I have a
Yeah.
couple here.
Nancy, can you tell us when we're in the after, what will you want to continue?
When we're in the after, what will I want to continue? I think that I would want to continue having more connection with, we have much faster connection with families these days. We do a lot of texting home. Our technology has jumped up fast. So having that sort of ability to make the loop of information is helpful. I don't want to be sitting behind a computer screen anymore.
Amen to that, Nancy.
Why are you sitting in the set of Marriage 2.0?
Well, I love
You know,
set.
oh wait,
Yeah.
Me or you? Wait,
Me. I'm
oh,
sit- We had a
That's
play, Marriage 2.0, and it had 2 actors in a living room. So I took pictures of our living room as the green screen background. And so it was such a cozy place, I thought I'd move it.
That's awesome. Bringing 2.0 back. I have a question for Nancy. If reality TV came knocking on your door and offered you $1 million, what would be the terms of that arrangement if it were up to you?
the terms of the arrangement. Well, I think that you could make a reality TV show any given day about a classroom or a school. I don't know that anybody would want to really know what all is happening. I think that most people probably would be more than happy to know once their kids left the door and went to school, whatever was going on once they got back and realized, who was picking their nose all day and who was doing whatever. They didn't need to have that shared as reality television. So it would be so much my terms is probably the parents' terms.
Oh, that's so funny.
I think you could make a reality TV show just about any school.
Yeah, probably, right?
Risa has a question?
Nancy, any ridiculous ideas similar to the ones written by the cable folks being introduced in schools these days?
No, not that. But I last night I mentioned that there were about 5 years ago, I was working with Discovery Cable Network, and they were working very, very hard on building these science programs within schools. And one of the things was it was an elimination of textbooks. And I thought, well, your program is great, but that's ridiculous. Because we need, I think today it shows my age, but I need that book to flip back and forth on. But there was an idea that really textbooks are very, very expensive and they're very hard to update. And you can update an electronic textbook on a dime as science changes and as new experiments come out and things. And now I have, when I try to go to help my daughter and I say, well, let me see the textbook, and they have no textbook. They're behind a screen too much. They have a textbook. So all of a sudden we've made this jump, whether we go back or not to have textbooks. I don't know, but it seemed ridiculous 5 years ago. And all of a sudden it's the only way we can do it now.
Risa has another question.
To the actors, when we're in the after, what do you want to continue from this?
This, like, exact. This is great. I love that we've still been creative and figured out a way to keep doing theater, given that, we can't be in the same room. And I'm a bit of a hermit anyway, so I like not leaving my house. So I kind of hope that we keep doing stuff like this, even when we can still go back to theater.
Yeah, it's a great in between, because no theater can afford to put up shows constantly. You don't have the personnel, you don't have the money, in some cases you don't have the space. And it's a way to keep your theater alive year round when it is not actually performing on stage. Doing it like this keeps everyone involved. And, you know, it's great in the winter. You don't have to drive in the snow. You can still do the show like last night, you know, the night before it was fine. So I think, yeah, I think this is a great supplement too.
I'm really frustrated with it. I do enjoy that there are things that you can do theatrically that are kind of split the difference between doing a film and doing it on stage, but I really miss being able to connect with the other actors on stage and move. But I know something will come out of this.
You know, I have to say, this is Lisa speaking as an actor, not just as a director. One of the things that I've missed is the half hour, 45 minutes, hour before curtain where we're all in the green room and we're putting on our makeup and we're running those last couple of lines and we're checking that last little bit of blocking, and you know, you've got all these running jokes and you're filling your face with junk food, and you know, you hear the audience coming in upstairs, and I just, that whole pre-show, that excitement, that energy, that camaraderie, boy, I'll tell you what, I miss that.
I miss the audience feedback, the instant gratification or lack thereof sometimes, but the, you know, the sense that the audience, they're laughing, it's a comedy, or they're dead still if it's very heavy, but you know, they're, you know, just the reactions, it can feed off it.
Marisa has another audience question.
Paul, who would be a famous actor who you'd like to see perform your role in this show?
That's a great question.
It is.
Oh.
Well, let's open it up to all three of you.
Okay.
I think, yeah, you know, I start thinking immediately of people with whom I went to school. So like little actors like Bristol Pomeroy, you know, they're not huge names, but they're just really talented people that could really take this. Jeff Meacham, he's on TV now. He's hilarious.
If only we could get Alec Baldwin in that part. Right?
Alec Baldwin could do that. Yeah.
What about you, Rayona?
Amy Poehler or Alex Borstein.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Amy Poehler would be hilarious. What about you, Barbara?
Well, for going with Amy Poehler, then you have to have
Tina Fey.
Tina Fey to play author. You know, you gotta do.
Perfect.
Because immediately, of course, I always think my first thought goes to Meryl Streep. Naturally, always.
Of course.
But if you've got Amy Poehler and Tina Fey, they just work well together.
And Alec Baldwin.
And
Yes.
Alec Baldwin. Yeah, that would be so much fun.
Joe Starzik, make it happen.
That's hilarious. You know, I have a question for Nancy. You're an art teacher. I mean, like when you were doing in the classroom, right? You're doing art projects with your students. That you might be using clay, or you might be using paint, or you might be using all kinds of different media. How does that work virtually?
Well, it's been everything. I taught summer school, and they had kits that they could pick up, and they had all their materials, and I was able to base it on what was ever in the kit. But when the school year started, I tried to get materials out and hand delivered, and we just couldn't blanket it equally and evenly. And kids, especially kids, would take a class, drop out of a class, add a class, eliminate a class. So I went to photography. So we're doing digital photography. So it translates well, but the idea that it's much, much, much harder than a simple just make sure every kid has their supplies. And the logistics of it are phenomenally crazy.
That's amazing.
We're doing everything.
Any other questions coming in from the audience?
Anything else, Risa?
So I had another question. It says, apart from the foolishness of the play, what do you think the mix of virtual and on-site will be once we have normal reality?
Can I hear that question again?
I think that kids who are sick
Oh.
or that there won't be as much excuse, or people will be spending more time. Like, for example, we didn't have a snow day yesterday.
Oh.
You know, it's going to be, there are going to be things that are going to stick. And I think that there's a, bring back the snow day campaign already happening. That idea of a break and go out and play and take a break. But I think that things like that will be gone.
We had snow days, our town, but our town was hybrid, so they did snow days.
Oh, yeah. Ours was hybrid too. Any last questions from anyone?
Any last questions, Risa? Nope. We've exhausted the audience questions, it seems.
And we've exhausted the
audience.
Well, on behalf of the Suffield Players and on behalf of all of our folks on stage and off stage, I want to thank, first of all of our sponsors and advertisers. I want to thank our fabulous cast. I want to thank Nancy for being with us, and I want to thank all of our backstage people, especially our pal Jason, who has been through, my goodness, the obstacle course, the technical obstacle course of all obstacle courses. And I hope that everyone will consider auditioning again and participating again in some other way. And to everyone, happy holidays, whatever holiday you celebrate, and a joyful and healthy New Year to everyone. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.